All right, what is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in today on this beautiful Tuesday. We are rolling along here on our 2024 NFL mock draft. As always, I am your good old host, JR, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, Brandon will be joining me here in a little bit on Instagram Live here at the All Sports Talk podcast page, and you can catch us on YouTube Live at the Jack's Wild Sports Show. We have a good one for you today. The New England Patriots are officially on the clock as me and Brandon have made our first two selections. Just to recap, I went Drake May, Caleb Williams 1-2. Mr. Brandon, who will be joining us here in a little bit, went Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr. 1-2. And I can already tell that these two picks have been the most talked about picks in all sports podcasts because we are getting some interesting messages from YouTube, from Instagram Live. It is amazing. Brandon, and speaking of which, Brandon is here live with us on Instagram Live. Brandon, how are you doing today, sir? Well, I got one message here for you. And it comes from our good buddy Michael. By the way, big supporter whenever it is mock draft season. Always a big supporter here. We thank him so much for it. Brandon must be smoking on that good, and then he put the emojis cloverleaf, cloverleaf, cloverleaf. Because holy cow, this draft right off the bat has been interesting. Brandon, before we move on to the Patriots, what can you say? Any comment, any rebuttal that you would like to say? Number 2, that was yesterday's pick. That was his comment to you yesterday. You're going down. All right, we're going down that hill. And then apparently, my brother left me a comment. Can't believe you took Drake May number 1. I don't know about that one, buddy. Well, different strokes for different folks, bro. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. Different strokes for different folks. And, so here we go. I mean, so I want to thank everybody for the support. But now we got to move along. 1 and 2 are done. There's nothing we could do about it. Their destinies have been determined. But we are moving on now to pick number 3. And that belongs to the New England Patriots. Michael, thank you so much for the support, man. Thank you so much. But number 3 pick, that belongs to the New England Patriots. After finishing 4-13, dead last in the AFC. Well, no, second to dead last. Or no, they were last. Yeah, they were last. Yeah, they were last. The Jets just barely beat them out. But after putting up the 31st offense and the 15th defense, Robert Kraft has decided that enough is enough. It is time for a new leaf. It is time for a new era. Bill Belichick is no longer, and I can't believe I'm actually saying these words right now. Bill Belichick is no longer the head coach of the New England Patriots. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say congratulations to Bill Belichick. 20 years, 20 plus years as a head coach for one franchise is not easy. It's not easy. And the fact that he had that type of success, that they had that type of success, eventually, all things come to an end. But congratulations to Bill Belichick, who I said last night, one of the better defensive minds in all of football. And it clearly shows. Like they had zero to little talent on the defensive side, and they still had 15th. They were still the 15th best defense. So one of the better defensive minds in the NFL. Congratulations to him on a wonderful career. I hope maybe down the road maybe he'll be back. But for now, congratulations to him. It sucks that it had to end this way, but it's time for a new leaf. I've been saying it for a while now. It was time. It was time. I think New England just needed a fresh start, and they just needed to rebuild. And you know what? Number 3 is not a bad way to rebuild. So Brandon, any final words for Bill Belichick before we move forward? And let's be real. Would Tom Brady be anything without Bill Belichick? Because Bill Belichick still had to draft the guy. So in the end, it's one of those situations where they needed each other. That was it. No. Well, I mean, he got him in the final drive. That's what he had to do. Like I know. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying. Yes, yes, and it's one of those things where But again, it is a big kudos to Bill Belichick. Hopefully he does come back, but congratulations to him. Unfortunately, this year was it was just a tough year all around, and let's just dive right into it. Mac Jones, it just I think what it is it didn't work out because year after year, people just didn't want to build around him. He his mind was pretty much made up that we're going to build it my way, and that's it. We're going to build it my way, and then it was never. You never improved on the receivers. You never improved on the running game. You never improved on a declining offensive line. You never. So it was a losing battle for Mac Jones. It was, and and this is why he only ended up with 2,000 passing yards. 2,120, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Their best offensive weapon this year, their best offensive weapon, rushing and receiving, was Ezekiel Elliott. He led the team in rushing with 642 rushing yards. He led the team with receptions and yardage, 313, 51 receptions, 2 touchdowns. That's not a recipe for success. And I could tell you that offensive line was aging. Bill never wanted to address that either. He didn't want to address the receivers. He never wanted to. Basically, he wanted to draft a quarterback without paying the price because he thought he could still do his thing. But that's not the case anymore because that's not Mac Jones is not Tom Brady. Like let's be perfectly honest. He's not Tom Brady. Now, is Mac Jones a serviceable quarterback? Yeah, I believe so. I think in the right circumstances, I think he'd be a serviceable quarterback. And I think that's why it was time for a fresh start. That's why it was time to turn over a new leaf because the Bill Belichick of old was still in the building, but the inspiration and the new ways of trying to create something, it was gone. He thought he could still get away because I'm Bill Belichick. Players still want to. No, unfortunately, that's not how it works. When you don't have a franchise quarterback, nobody wants to come for you. You have to draft. You have to draft well. And unfortunately, offensively, defensively, he's been drafting fine. Offensively, he can't draft offensive players to save his life. You got a first round offensive lineman from Chattanooga, Tennessee, who had a 4th-round grade, and you drafted him in the first. You traded for Devontae Parker, who each year kept getting slower and slower and slower. You thought Nelson Aguilar was something. Now, this is not all fault to anybody, but I mean, yeah, you could look at the general manager, you can look at Bill, but it's time. It was time for a new leaf. Now, defensively, they got it. They got it right. They're gonna get it right. Jawan Bentley leading the team in tackles, Christian Barmore leading the team in sacks, the second-year defensive lineman out of Alabama, and then Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, 2 interceptions each. So, you know, The defense was fine, but that's always been Bill Belichick's MO. His offense might be terrible, but his defense is going to be right. We always said it, he's going to have the best 11 men on the field when it comes to defense. It's just offensively. You could have put people in the stands to play 11 to put him on, the field for this year's Patriots offense. It was bad. That's why they were second to dead last in offense. Like they were one of statistically, not just this year, but in the history of the NFL, they were just god awful. Like they were god awful. I think I said it a couple times where, if Bill Belichick wanted to apply for federal funding for his offense, I think he would have been approved. I think they would have gone unapproved because they were just putrid. They were bad. Brandon, help me out here, man. What happened here? And I don't mean to cut you off. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what about Gronkowski? But he's a tight end. We're talking strictly wide receivers. I mean, and to be fair, Aaron Hernandez was on his way up and up, but that's like a Chris Benoit thing where we don't talk about it, man. Yeah, that still gets me to this day. I'm like, really? Deion Branch? I totally forgot about that guy. And by the way, a young Benjamin Watson. Jafar Gaffney. Lawrence Maroney. God. Oh, that one. Yo, hey man, don't you diss on LeGarrette Blount, bro. He back-to-back Super Bowl champion. It's just he went to Philadelphia to get the second one. But hey, You know what, man? Like, yo, what's going on here? What's happening here? Yeah, I get it. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Now, season's over. New England had to do what they had to do. They had their little press conference. Hey, great, fine, dandy. To say, all right, goodbye, Bill. And then, like, a few weeks later, like, all right, we got our guy. The new guy, Gerard Mayo, former linebacker, defensive coordinator. He is now the head coach. So they stayed in house. But what they didn't do is they didn't stay in house for the offensive coordinator job. They actually had to go outside, and they got Alex Van Pelt, respectable name. He has some years as offensive coordinator. And, well, the only thing that they stayed in-house was the defensive side, which was DeMarcus Covington, which I like. So Gerard Mayo put his staff together. He did his thing. He's good to go. He's ready to rock and roll. Brandon, in your honest opinion, good hire, bad hire for the New England Patriots? Right, because Mac Jones had to be the guy after Tom. Well, Cam Newton came in first, but we all knew Mac Jones is like, okay, you're drafted in the first. You have to be the guy that Tom Brady left. And then when we're looking at Gerard Mayo, it's like, okay, man, you're replacing Bill Belichick, and we gave this fucker 20 years. I don't know how many years they're going to give you, bro. That's sort of the thing. It's not like, Antonio Pierce, where he got the job midway, and then you saw the difference in the team, and you're like, yeah, I mean, that's probably the best hire because the guys are actually playing pretty hard for him. So it's probably the best hire. I will say this. I think this was a solid hire. I don't want to say great. I don't want to say bad. I don't want to say like amazing, but I think it's a solid hire because I think when it comes to Gerard Mayo, I think everybody liked him in the locker room. I know the defensive side, they played for him. I know they listened to him very well. And I know people are looking at it as, well, what's he going to do offensively? Well, the thing is, he doesn't have to worry about that. He gets basically what it is he gets a fresh paper on the offensive side of the ball. And, you rebuild it how you want to, and the reason I say that is because, well, they traded Mac Jones to Jacksonville. So it's ironic now. It's a little, I understand it's ironic, but, so that's that. Ezekiel Elliott's not there. You have to upgrade. Basically, on your side of the ball, you're good. Your defensive side of the ball, you're fine. You're going to figure it out because you still have players there. Offensively, it is a brand new sheet. I mean, it is brand new. Now, I will say this. Mac Wilson, gone. Devontae Parker, gone. Mike Gesicki, gone. Trent Brown just signed with Cincinnati today. Now, offensively, here, Antonio Gibson, welcome, hey, good little change of pace back to get your offense going. Jacoby Brissett, good, solid veteran. This is exactly what a team like New England needs right now. A solid veteran to come in, and if the rookie is not ready to go, Then you got Jacoby Brissett. Then, I actually like this hire. Or I actually like this pickup. Sion Takitaki, the linebacker from Cleveland, had some success in Cleveland, is now going to be joining that linebacking room in New England. Hey, that's how you do it. Austin Hooper was with us last year, is now going to New England. Solid tight end pickup to get your weaponry going. And then you resign Makinwawu, to be your right tackle, so you're good there. And then Josh Uchi is back to be part of the linebacking room again. So again, defensively, New England is fine. Like they're just reloaded. That's perfectly fine. Offensively, it's a brand new sheet of paper. You're doing everything you can to plug in whatever you can, and then we go from there. Brandon, anything to add? Yeah, so it's not like the defense is going to be in total shambles. Like, listen, I know they cut J.C. Jackson. Can you imagine going back to New England and like, all right, we're going to cut you again? God damn. Like, golly, man. Like, dude, I don't know what to say about that. But I will say this. I think when it comes to New England, like I said, it's a fresh, blank piece of paper. You plug in what you can. And yeah, whoever they draft, they need to have a solid year to the team. Well, the thing is, it's not like they have a choice. I can pretty much guarantee you New England is going to be a team that's going to draft very favorably in one side of the football. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did what Carolina did a couple of years ago or a few years back when Carolina went all defense. It wouldn't surprise me if New England went all offense. Like, it would not. Yeah, I just and that's the thing. They're gonna get the playing time. You're gonna get the playing time because what's really out there? Like, what competition do you really have? And there's still free agents that New England can do. It's just, Trent Brown, it's okay leaving because he was sort of bit like on a decline, and you don't know now if can he still play right? Because the thing is this: if I was Cincinnati, I would look at Orlando Brown and be like, hey, we're going to move you to right tackle. We're going to put Trent Brown inside right guard. We got our center. We got our left guard. We just have to focus really on our left tackle because now Jonah Williams is gone. But that's Cincinnati. That's down the road. That's down the road. For New England, it's, hey, listen, man, you have a fresh sheet everywhere. I mean, you pretty much have a free sheet. Now, the thing is this, like Chicago, I think the draft changed drastically when they traded away Mac Jones. Because I truly believe if Mac Jones was there, I think he still would have been the starter. I still think that he would have competed to be the starter and everything. And, they would just build. But Gerard Mayo, I guess, found it in his best interest to say, you know what, this experiment is over. If we're going to start new everything, then we're going to start new everything. And so that's how it happened. Now, I am happy for Mac Jones that he is going to go to a Jacksonville Jaguars team that, let's be fair, right now, they have a little bit more talent than the New England Patriots. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the starter. Like, I want people to hear this. Trevor Lawrence is the starter. But if Trevor Lawrence goes back to, doing his Trevor Lawrence bullshit, the only difference is now with I keep forgetting the guy. I keep forgetting the head coach in Jacksonville. Doug Peterson. Thank you. Doug Peterson. The only difference now between Trevor Lawrence messing up last year and this year, last year, if he messed up, it's not like CJ Beathard was going to threaten to take his job. Basically, what this trade showed me is that Doug Peterson really isn't committed to Trevor Lawrence either. And to be fair, I mean, Trevor Lawrence wasn't committed to Jacksonville either because he did miss phone calls from Jacksonville on draft night. So it's not like he was committed either. But that's not here nor there. I'm just saying this year, if Trevor Lawrence goes back to being Trevor Lawrence things, you brought him in. You might as well see what he has. That's all I'm saying. And I get, okay, he was hurt towards the end of the season. Yeah. Brandon, do you want to take over this one? Because I know you've been ready for this one. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead. And I wonder where did we hear that before? That if everything's 100%, he's fine. But the second we're called up to him to make the play, I could have sworn I heard somebody say that before, like during the draft time. But whatever. Here's the thing: people want to talk about. Yes, he got hurt. Yes, he got hurt at the end of the season. Did we just forget that he actually played in the beginning of the season and he looked exactly the same thing? What you saw against Joe. That was going to be my next question, but it looks like you already answered it. Do you think Mac Jones can take the job? But apparently, you think he can. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people are going to bring this up. Well, the Dallas Cowboys traded for Trey Lance. Why didn't Trey Lance? Two totally separation issues. Two totally different issues. The issues is this: you paid Dak that money. You haven't had contract talks with Trevor Lawrence yet. And that's why I was not afraid to give him the comp of Jimmy Garoppolo because I said, yeah, Trevor Lawrence has always had an amazing defense, an amazing offensive line, amazing receivers, amazing running backs. And, if, teams from college football figure all that out and it's like, okay, Trevor, we need you to, be the man now. Most times out of not, he didn't do it. Yeah, that's why for me, I'm not even tripping about it because, like, here's the deal. Like I said, and people are like, well, look at the stats. If you really want to look at it, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have that many more yards than Mac Jones. And Trevor Lawrence has actually had the better fucking group. Yeah. The fact that he had the gall to pretty much call out the staff, the offensive, like, motherfucker, you're the one that's, if you're the franchise, you're the one that's controlling the flow of the game offensively. The fact that the fact that the Texans, the Colts, have a brighter future, might look like they have a brighter future. We said at the beginning of last year for Jacksonville, this is their division to lose. And they did exactly that. Like, I can't tell you how many times I see Jacksonville get a turnover on defense and they're celebrating, and then like 3 plays later, oh, by the way, Trevor Lawrence fumbled the ball, or Trevor Lawrence threw an interception, or the running back fumbled the ball, and I'm just like, yeah, this is why, because they put themselves in such bad predicaments that of course they're never going to advance like this. So what you saw in Jacksonville, or what you saw at Jacksonville against the Chargers, ladies and gentlemen, I know you want to admit, you won't want to admit this, that was just one bad Trevor Lawrence game. No, that's just who he is. 4 interceptions. Those aren't mistakes. Those are for real. And the only reason I gave you crap for that, and I'm so sorry to bring bad memories, the only reason I gave you crap was because all I heard that whole year was, if you give this man a defense, he'll figure out the offense and he'll fucking ride it. Nothing better in life and all that time. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. Mentos freshness, Mentos freshness. I've had a bad year, but I wasn't delusional about a certain position. Mother, I wasn't delusional about a certain player. Mentos freshness, Mentos freshness. By the way, you guys are still on the hook for him for like $23 million, right? Mentos, the freshener picker upper. You double down, motherfucker. You guys double down, my boy. You literally got fuck up one and fuck up two in your quarterback room right now. You double down to be bad in the quarterback room. That's like a guy going to college to be a arts major and a theater major. You double down on being unemployed, my guy. Like you double down. Like you double down, bro. Yeah, we're really just going with it. God, Brandon, you know what? From one friend to another, I really hope you guys get Michael Penix Jr. I really do, bro. I want to take the time in New Orleans. Yeah. We'll move on to the next thing. Yeah, we're moving on to the next thing. God. But again, this is about the Patriots. And for the Patriots, I think it's very vital that we understand the situation here. They deserve to be picking top three because, let's face it, they were one of the worst teams in football. They deserve to be here. However, this is a chance to do all the wrongs, maybe not in a year, maybe not two, but give Gerard Mayo some time. See where it goes. Hopefully, Robert Kraft has the decency to give him a leash to see how it builds because it's not going to be built in a day. I wouldn't be surprised if we sit here next year and we're talking about New England, maybe 9, 10, 11. But I will say this with how the AFC East is going in free agency, it wouldn't shock me either. New England wins this division. Like, let's be honest, man. Be honest. Tyrone Smith, like, yes, we have issues. And the Jets said Tyrone Smith is going to be our answer at left tackle. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. No? No. Woo. I feel like that guy from Grown Ups where he has the arms like, woo. Like, woo. No. But for New England, I think this is a good opportunity. If they hit this right, it won't be very long. If they get this right, if they have an amazing draft class and they knock it out of the park, we're looking at a situation where New England can be at least somewhat competitive to work with something. So I hope they get it right. I hope they get it right because I remember New England before Bill Belichick, and let me tell you, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. So no franchise should ever have to go through that, like none. But unfortunately, it happens. So here we go. So here we are, Brandon. It is the third pick in the draft. The Patriots are now on the clock. Sir, who have you selected for New England to be the quarter, or who have you selected for New England at number 3? Yep, here we go. Until you could promise me my safety. We got one here. I see May at 3. Ooh. Well, unfortunately, in my world, Drake May is gone. So he. It feels that way. It does feel that way. Right. No, I mean, listen, Marvin Harris, listen, there's no wrong answers here. There's really not. There is no wrong answers. None. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Look, when I was doing the whole New England thing on the sheet of paper that I have in front of me right here, I looked at the roster. I've been keeping up with them, and I'm like, okay, you know how they always say like team needs. Here are the major. If you really think about it, it's like, what are the team needs? Oh, I know what they are: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive lineman, fullback. Anything offensively is a team need for like New England right now. It's for New England. Like, yeah, like who are we kidding, right? And who are we kidding? Everything for New England. It's a team need. They need, if you are any sort of offense a necessity, they need you. Like they need you bad. And, and I really thought, and I went, I think I went like a whole night of this. Like, man, do we put a quarterback here? Do we give them Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do we give them one of the offensive linemen that are coming out this year? I literally had to sleep on it. I really did. But I think what really sold me when Gerard Mayo did that trade, he wants his guy. He wants his guy. And the thing about this, I know what you're saying. Whoever the quarterback is, it's going to be homicide. But the good thing is Jacoby Brissett's there. So he knows how to get away from the hurt. At least he can hold up his own for a bit. Whether it's a season, he'll be able to survive because he is a veteran. But I just think in this situation, we're thinking about the fan. We have to think about the fans here, right? The average fan. Like me and you, we can say, listen, we know that they need offensive lineman help. So I'm going to give you the kid from Penn State, or I'm going to give you the kid from Notre Dame. Or listen, I know whoever is your quarterback, you still need a weapon because Kendrick Bourne is, yeah. So Marvin Harrison Jr., please come on down and please improve our wide receiver room. Please be the best wide receiver in the room the second you land in Foxborough, New England. Unfortunately, in this sense, I thought about it, and I finally gave him the player that I think right now, it's not the player that they need, but it's a player that they deserve because they are hurting, and they need to make some noise to bring hope into the fans of New England. So here we go. With the third pick in this year's 2024 NFL mock draft, the New England Patriots select Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU. Look, you have to do it. Everything you said, I'm not disagreeing with you. Marvin Harrison Jr. would be great. The offensive lineman from Penn State would be great. Joe Alt from Notre Dame would be great. The issue is, if you're New England, the Heisman Trophy winner is sitting right there for you. He doesn't have to start right away. You can build a team before you go into it. Now I get it. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. a generational talent at wide receiver? Possibly. Is Joe Alt and Funashu an offensive line generational talent from Penn State? Are they generational talents? Possibly. But what good is having generational talent? How many times have we seen often all these generational talents, but they have nothing to gain because they have no guy under center? Ask Joe Thomas if he would give up some years in Cleveland to join another team because they had no quarterback under center. Ask my guy, Tim Brown, who had mediocre quarterbacks after mediocre quarterbacks, but still put up wonderful numbers. Never won a ring because the guy under center was never good enough. Well, there was one guy good enough, but they just got destroyed in that Super Bowl game. They really did. They got destroyed. They got fucked up, man. That was terrible. That was gacho, man. That right there was gacho, man. Jesus. Like, I knew he knew the offense, but I didn't know he was in the motherfucking headset too. Like, damn. You know? Damn. Like my favorite advocate, Ron Simmons likes to say, damn. Like, damn. I don't know, he was in the headset too. Like, goddamn. God damn. But anyway, I think for me, I think you have to do this. I think you have to pull the trigger. And it's not like you're getting a bad return on investment. I mean, we're talking about Jaden Daniels here. We're talking about a guy who left the Pac 12, went to the SEC, no expectations. All he did was the only thing accolades he did in his little 2 years that he was there. First team All ACC, SEC Offensive Player of the Year, Consensus All American, Sporting News Player of the Year, the Manning Award, which is given to the best quarterback in the SEC, the Davey O'Brien Award, which is given to one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, meaning you had to do a lot of good throws. You were the best thrower in the nation. AP College Football of the Player of the Year, the Walter Camp Award, and above all else, the Heisman Trophy winner. It's pretty good accolades. And not for nothing. He threw for and you witnessed firsthand 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,134 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Those players at ASU have no idea what they were talking about. When they put that video, get his trash ass out of here, and all he did was end up winning the Heisman. And here's the crazy thing about it when it comes to New England. You don't have to start him right away if you don't feel like he's ready. Because, again, you brought in Jacoby Brissett. This is why I like Jacoby Brissett in this situation with New England. He is a veteran. He is, well, not only just a veteran, a crafty veteran. He can win. He's not going to win a lot. I don't project him to win a lot this year because of the team that they might have. But, guys, you can get an offensive lineman in the second round. You can get a wide receiver in the second round. By the way, not just a wide receiver, not as good as Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, but still pretty good ones. Like an Xavier Worthy. Like a Leggett from South Carolina. There are options. A Roman Wilson from Michigan. There are options for rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are options for this. They can get another offensive lineman in the 3rd round, in the 4th round. So it's not like all hope is lost if they pass up on Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that's the thing. It's like, oh, you can't give this up. No. You have to have a guy under center. So when the time does come, you have your guy ready to go. To me, I think this would be good for New England. Jaden Daniels, Gerard Mayo, make it work. So that's what I think they're going with. I think they're going to, for me, I think Jaden Daniels from LSU becomes a New England Patriot. could. We can never say never. It could, but it's just the probability is like, nah, that's a little too high, homie. I want Dallas to draft a quarterback in the first round just so it's like, yes, yes. I want to be like that guy in The Wolf of Wall Street. You know, when they said, like, when Leonardo DiCaprio was like, I'm not freaking leaving. And the guy's just like, yeah, yeah. That's the kind of type of chaos I want. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I don't think so either. But it's just, you got to think about, it's just, will you get another opportunity to get a quarterback? Will you be able to be in a position for another quarterback class like this? You had no choice. You had to take CJ Stroud if he fell to you. Will Anderson. Well, I mean, the good thing is, it's, Malik Neighbors is right there for four, so it's perfectly fine. I'm going to guarantee you this much. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors have been scouted by Arizona. I don't have sources, but I guarantee you, Brandon, I guarantee you they have looked into it. Yeah, they can do that. I mean, listen, all these are perfect scenarios. They're all possibilities, right? It's just I wouldn't want to risk it because you're not certain if you're going to be in a position to have a pick like this in a quarterback class like this. And here's the luxury is you don't have to play him right away. Because I mean, we can't predict injuries, right? Like that's the one thing we can never predict, right? It's like we don't know if people are going to get hurt. We never know. It's just one of those things where if I'm Gerard Mayo, it's like, okay, these guys, because let's face it, like there's Patriot fans, it's like, well, there was this guy and this guy, and why was this guy our first choice? I'm sure there were out there. You have to make a splash. And I think Gerard Mayo's in a position to make that splash. I know you hate that word, but sometimes you have to do it. It's just, like I said, I don't. Any Patriot fans that would be upset if Marvin Harrison Jr.'s name is on that card is delusional as hell. Okay, like, dude, you got really you like put it like this: whatever name pops out of New England, nobody should be mad at. Okay, like nobody should be mad. Yeah, if it's JJ McCarthy, then yeah, you throw everything. You throw your chair, your bar stool, you throw everything. Like if it's Spencer Rattler, then yeah, throw everything. Okay, but we're not saying that. We're just saying. We're just saying. For New England, I think, and this again, this is just me talking. I think New England does have to kind of pull the trigger here because you need to give fans hope. You got to give them something. They know, listen, they know they're not going to win, but they rather have like, no, like, hey, we're not going to win right now, but our future is building in the wings. We just have to be patient. I'm just going to be like, cool. Cool, man. Keep on falling, buddy. Keep on falling, bud. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be beautiful. I cannot wait for draft day. So just to recap and everything, Brandon has selected Marvin Harrison Jr., number 3 overall, the wide receiver. By the way, legacy pick there. Yes, he is the son of that Marvin Harrison. If you did not know, going to New England. I am taking Jaden Daniels here, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, to go to New England. So you guys to let us know. Who would you take? Would you take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3? Would you take Jaden Daniels at 3? Or is there somebody else that you would like to take? Let us know. Let us know. Because it's here. It's here, man. Oh boy, I can't wait. I can't wait. But that'll be another day for another time. Brandon, New England is over. Chapter 3 is over. We are moving on to Chapter 4. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow on a beautiful Wednesday, we are going to be covering the Arizona Cardinals. That's right, those Cardinals. Number 4, first year of Jonathan Gannon. His first year is done. And believe it or not, this surprised us a couple times this year. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When I first saw that video of John, who drove here? Who came on a bike? Who came on an electric scooter? It's because you want to be here. And then he proceeded to trade every talent that, anybody that had any perception, it looked like anybody that had any talent, he just tried to trade them away. But there was a couple times where, honestly, they did some incredible things. The numbers might not show it. The record might not show it. Listen to me, man. And here's the thing. It was after the fact that they beat their first 2 opponents so bad. And Arizona got beat up so bad that we're like, yo, Dallas could not lose. There's no way Dallas loses this game. And sure enough, they lose the fucking game. And what did we say on our week 3 prediction show? Like, this would be such a Dallas thing. This would be the Dallas Cowboys time to screw it up for everybody, man. See, that's that bullshit I be talking about right there, man. That's the reason why I can never hit a parlay, because of you motherfuckers, man. Oh man. Rough. I will say that much. Rough. Just rough. But tomorrow it is Arizona. We cannot wait. I'm actually kind of excited to see what Brandon goes for Arizona here. But that's tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow. So everybody, please tune in tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Everybody that tuned into Instagram Live, thank you so much. Everybody that's tuning into our YouTube page, thank you so much. And Brandon, thank you so much as well for always tuning in, my man. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same everything. Tomorrow, we talk about the Arizona Cardinals. Today, Marvin Harrison Jr. in Brandon's world is a New England Patriot, and Jaden Daniels is the future of New England. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I knew we were going to have a lot to talk about this draft, but I didn't think it was going to go like this. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. Only 29 more picks to go. Only 29. I think I got my math right. Yep, 29. Woo! I did it. I know maths. Awesome. But Brandon, as always, man, I will see you tomorrow, man. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for everybody else. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.